So what did I think of the movie Identity Thief? Well, let's just say it's as good as my haircut, which is not good. I give it a 5 out of 11. That's because for every good thing it had, it also had a bad thing. So it was definitely middle of the road. Jason Bateman plays Sandy Bigelow Patterson, and Melissa McCarthy plays Diana. They're really the main focus of the movie. Not to say they're the only ones that matter. There are some bad guys in this movie, not including Diana, of course, and they are two people who Diana owes money to from previous times where she stole someone else's identity or partnered with. It's never really explained. And then a bounty hunter. But how does this all start? Well, it all starts with sorry, I lost it. With Sandy going to work and finding out they're not going to get bonuses that year. Only the seniors are going to get bonuses that year. And he's like, "Oh no, I'm not taking this anymore. I deserve a bonus." So his friend grabs a group of people and he says, "Let's leave. Let's quit the company. Let's start our own company. In fact, we've already got one going. We want you to be the vice president." And he's like, "Oh yeah." Then on his way home, he tries to get some gas, and he's he's got no money, which shouldn't be because he's got enough money. So what happened? Well, Diana happened. She's enjoying his money, and it shows her on all these shopping sprees before he discovers, like 10 minutes in the movie, what she's done. It's actually pretty good, the very beginning. The ending is good too. I'll get to that in the spoiler section. Now, his friend finds out, and he was like, "Man, I like you, but I can't have you as the vice president of a new company while we're trying to get clients, and you've got a background check that says you skipped a court date." And he's like, "What?" And sure enough, it's Diana that skipped the court date, but she's using his identity, so he gets the bad rap. At that point, he's like, "Oh, I'm not letting her ruin my life." So he goes to Florida to confront her and actually succeeds. After a couple of minutes, there's like a 10-minute scene, and then he finally gets her to come with him all the way back to Denver. Now, obviously, I can't go too much further in the spoilers, but I want to mention the two. I already mentioned the two bad guys, actually. The two guys that she owes money to, and the bounty hunter. And, of course, there are a whole bunch of shenanigans that go on with the bounty hunter. The two bad guys aren't really seen towards the end, until the end. There, there are moments in this movie where it becomes one of those typical movies, and it becomes very crude. It's like we're talking about sex here. I mean, it's going to be in the movie, but it's not actually, because right before she has sex with the guy, and I'm not talking about Jason's character, I'm talking about some random guy. She just, instead of having sex, she just steals all this stuff, and she's like, "Sandy, come on, we got to get out of here." Or more specifically, actually, that was one of the few times she tried to escape him. There were really only two times. That was the second time, and that was the time where she decided she wasn't going to do it again because, minor spoiler here, she picks up the phone, and on the phone, and it's Sandy's phone, it's their kids. It's like, "Daddy, when are you coming home?" And she's like, "Oh man." And that's when she starts to get a little sympathetic. I predicted that was going to happen. I knew it was. And sure enough, there it is. And that's when the movie really fell into that typical stuff that you're going to see in a movie like this. Now I gotta go into spoilers a little more. First, you got the bad guys the two bad guys that come back in, and then you've still got the hillbilly still in there. I'm sorry, the bounty hunter. He still is a little bit of a hillbilly though. Anyway, I'm going to talk about the end. So, major spoiler. In the end, it really, I didn't know which way they were going to go, but I knew the three possibilities. One, she ended up running away. Two, he'd decide, you know what, I don't want to ruin her life, because she does open up to him about why she does all this and everything. I won't give everything away. So he'll have pity and say, just forget it. I'll live my life as it is. And that's what he does do. 3, if things will go ahead as planned, and there'll be like a betrayal. She'll be like, you betrayed me, after there's a cop set up and everything so that he can clear his name. But that happens too. And how can that be? Well, he wakes up in the morning and she has actually gone in to his work. So she on her own goes and confesses on her own to the cops. So there's no betrayal there. And I liked how that worked out, because that was very nice. There's no betrayal. He still gets his job. She still confesses. And she still goes to jail for identity theft. Because it's not just him. She's done it to other people too. And I really liked the very end. In the very end, it says 1 year later, and it's the two kids and Sandy and his wife visiting her in jail. And no, he doesn't fall in love with her in this movie. It's not that serious. He's already married. Anyway, it was good. Beginning and end was good. It just, the middle seemed to drag on. Some areas lacked thought. And so that's why ultimately this movie gets a 5 out of 11. Will I buy it? No. Will I see it again? Only if I have to.